If you don't make time for your wellness, you will make time for your illness. Good evening, this is Brian Johnson and happy Halloween. I'm coming to you live from Austin, Texas. We're going to have an amazing session in 30 minutes so you can go out and grab your candy and enjoy yourself, and I'll go join my family to do the same. So without further ado, tonight's topic of conversation is going to be super amazing, super impactful, and super helpful to empower you with the truth and the stuff that they don't want you to know. Tonight's going to be about nutrition and the truths and how to disease or disease-proof your body in 5 easy steps. And if this is your first time, welcome. If you are a veteran, welcome too. I love you both and I appreciate you. The best thing you could do when you feel called, and if you already do and you know the drill, please share my broadcast. This way I can support and help people in your life that I would never be able to reach without your assistance and your support. And there's no way I could do what I do without you. So I honor you and I appreciate you and I thank you for showing up and investing your time with me. If this is your first time, make sure you type first timer in the message box. That way we can make sure you're taken care of. If you have any questions, you have an amazing tribe, an amazing group of people here. Our family is super awesome, super helpful, and they will be glad to help you and ask questions and make sure that you are supported. So welcome aboard. If you're catching this replay, and it is not Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on October 31st, that's correct, you are watching the replay, which means if I do not get back to you immediately, have patience. Don't get upset. Some people do, and they take off and leave because I'm not answering them or saying hi. It's because I'm not on. Because if I was on, I would say hi, and I appreciate you, so thank you for that. What's up, Rebecca Ann? So make sure you connect with us on our social media feeds. Right now you're on Think Great Lose Weight. You can connect with us on Think Great Lose Weight on YouTube. You've also got Instagram in there as well, but this is the best place for us to connect, so welcome aboard. So here is my disclaimer for you. I am not a doctor, even though I have all these awesome plaques on my wall and things like that, and I'm missing about half of them. I am not a doctor. I probably have enough hours invested to be one, but that's not what I chose to do. So what I mean by that is this. Anything I say and share with you, I encourage and empower you to consult with your physician before you make any changes. And don't be surprised if they don't know what you're talking about. The information I'm sharing with you is not common sense. Therefore, it is not common knowledge. And it is definitely not knowledge that your Western medicine facilitator is going to have any idea of what I'm sharing with you. So the best thing you can do is empower yourself with the truth and do what works best for you, because ultimately every time you walk by the mirror, guess what? Smile, say I love you, and say, you know what? You are responsible for your health. That's right. Every time you walk by the mirror, that is you. So make sure you give yourself the tools necessary to do that. So with your permission, I'm going to share with you my short story so you can understand why I do what I do and some things you may not know about me. Okay, so currently I'm 38 years young. I'll actually be 39 coming up this month. And I started doing the health and wellness deal when I was 7 years old. So I have well over 100,000 hours I've been blessed to invest and have some amazing skill sets to share with you to help you receive wisdom and to help you understand the truths. What's up, Melinda? So that you can use this information to set yourself free. And most importantly, so you can share it with your family members, with your loved ones, with the people that you're actually in your life. Because I'll be honest with you, I see more miracles happen on a daily basis with the stuff that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight than I ever have with anything else. So I'm literally sharing with you and giving you the keys to the castle so you have what is necessary to thrive. And let's be honest, naturally that's what you're looking for, right? Of course, me too. Who isn't? Unknowingly, most people are not, but that's really what we're looking to do, okay? Some things you may not know about me is this. I've been suicidal. I've been 250 pounds 3 different times. I've been high on any drug, all of them you could possibly imagine. And I'm alive by the grace of God to be here sharing my testimony and sharing my knowledge and wisdom with you. Merely by the grace of God, for sure, without a doubt. So allow me to share with you my experiences and the things to support you. Give me 1% of your trust, and undoubtedly I will earn the other 99. So open your mind. Make a decision now that you will be open-minded. Make a decision now that you'll implement what I share with you, because knowledge is not power. I know plenty of people that are extremely intelligent that are idiots. And I say that because they don't take the knowledge that they have and they don't put it to use. Knowledge is useless if you don't execute it. So, welcome aboard, Miss Melinda and Rachel. If you haven't shared, please share. Hey, Jen, I appreciate all of you so much. So here are some things for you. We're going to start digging into the content right now, and we're going to be off at 7:30 sharp. So I will respect your time as well, okay? So here's what you got. A bad thought will kill you much faster than a bad germ. And a lot of people are like, what? I'm like, that's right. A bad thought will kill you much faster than a bad germ. I can hang around every sick person in the world and never get sick. I haven't been sick in over probably 24, since I was probably 15 or 16 years old, so well over 20 some odd years. And I'm not saying that as a pat on my back. I'm saying that because the information I'm sharing with you tonight is the exact same wisdom I've been using and applying in my own life, and I'm therefore sharing it with you so you can do the same. So, the philosophies or the pillars of health that Chris and I teach on are this. Air is the first thing you're going to die without. Water is the second thing you're going to die without. Food is the third thing you're going to die without. And 4 being your consciousness or your mindset, or you being aware of being awake, or being aware of being aware of being aware. Whatever you choose to do, your consciousness is going to be extremely important. And a lot of times that's actually number 1, because you could really eat some nasty foods and drink some nasty water, but bless that water because you're in a state of knowing what blessed water does and blessing your food and literally being able to energetically change the vibes in your food and your water so that it jives better with your system to ultimately keep you healthy, even though the foods in the water are toxic. So that's consciousness, okay? So we are spiritual beings living a physical experience, and we break down energetically first or emotionally first before it shows up physically. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, tonight we're talking about nutrition, and we're talking about giving you the keys to reverse and to empower your immune system, thank you, Jen, to do what it's supposed to do. And what most people fail to understand is that the reason why our immune system is challenged in the first place is because we have some emotional belief systems that are creating that. It's not just your food. Matter of fact, your food is a minuscule part of it. We're going to talk about food, and we're also going to talk about the emotional components that go with it so you can marry the two, because that's the only way to achieve maximal health. That's the only way to thrive. That's the only way that you're truly going to maximize your human experience. Did I see Audrey on there? Miss Audrey Nicole. What's up, Cynthia? Good to see you. All right, so here we go. So when we give our symptoms a name or a diagnosis, now it has power. Now you've given it life. From this moment forward, here's what I invite, offer, and encourage you to do. Do not, I'm going to repeat, do not identify with a diagnosis. Instead, explain your situation as, I have symptoms of blank, blank, blank. I have symptoms of high blood pressure. I have symptoms of high blood sugar. I have symptoms of lung challenges. Whatever that is. When you say I have fibromyalgia, or I have the flu, or I have whatever, you're literally giving yourself that state, and you're creating the opportunity for that to stay and now have power. Take the power away. Take the power back. And just express your symptoms if it's necessary. Okay, so when people call me and they're like, hey, Brian, I'd like to talk to you about blank, 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 that my doctor said, first off, I said, I don't desire to know what your doctor told you. I just desire to know what your symptoms are. Once I understand what their symptoms are, then I can help them to understand exactly what's operating due to body language and emotional code, just like you can. What's up, Miss Audrey? It's always great to see you. I appreciate you, ladies. Okay, so disease means ease returning. Anytime we have dis-ease, that means we are not in ease. Ease is what we're looking to reinstate, to resolve, and to create our health again. Okay? So part number 1, here we go, into my notes. We're actually in my notes, but now we're going to talk about part 1 specifically. So did you know, by a show of, let's hear some conversation right now. Did you know that most of you that are on here are veterans, but for my replay viewers and for my first timers, this is for you and some of my veterans too. Did you know that each organ system also has an emotional system that goes along with it? If you knew that, type a yes. Here's your question. If you did not, type a no. Here's your question one more time. Did you know that each organ system also has an emotional component that goes with it? Oh, honestly, Rebecca, you didn't? Interesting. I knew you, figure you did, Jen. Audrey? Okay, awesome. Because this is really important. Because when you understand that someone comes to you and say, oh, my doctor says I have liver cancer, I have kidney cancer, I have whatever, okay? This is what this means. And this is how you can pull the ninja trick on it super fast. And this is how you can get into understanding things and making the emotional shifts or the consciousness shifts first before you even get to the food. The food plays such a minor part. It's the emotional component that gets to be addressed first that our current system does not recognize. I've had multiple clients, many, probably hundreds at this point, go to the doctor for something they've had wrong, and the doctor's like, well, there's nothing wrong with you. You're completely fine. But they're going to try to figure out some way to diagnose you with something so they can treat it. Or if not, they can't treat it. But here's the deal. They find nothing wrong with you because it's emotional. It's not a physical issue, a chemistry issue, a bone break, an organ issue. It's a emotional issue. Okay, that's why they can't detect these things. All right, so here you go. So thyroid is anger. And I know we have some challenges on here with some thyroids. We always do at some point. So here's some interesting information. Do you have current challenges with your thyroid? If you do, type a yes. Current question on the table. Do you have any thyroid challenges? If you do, type a yes. And if you have not and you feel called, of course, please share my broadcast. And I appreciate you so much for doing so. That is the best way and the fastest way that I can help out many, because I am on a mission to support as many people as possible, starting with you. So I appreciate you coming aboard and teaming up, because it's going to take all of us for sure. Okay, awesome. So Jen, thyroid challenges. All right, anybody else popping in there? So thyroid challenges. So let's talk about that. Thyroid is directly representative of anger. That's right. Hypothyroidism is anger with a female figure. Hyperthyroidism is anger with a male figure. Typically, the best place to start is with mom or dad. It's always best to start with the archetype, mom or dad, first, because those are the people that we're first introduced to in life. And a lot of times, most of the time, that is where the emotional splinters start to happen. And that's where we deviate off of our path, or deviate off of our I am that I am great self, our higher conscious self, our super conscious self. Also, loving yourself allows that to happen. All right? Next one. Liver and gallbladder. Does anyone have any liver or gallbladder? Or do you have any liver or gallbladder challenges? If you do, just type a yes or a no. Let's see what you got. Liver or gallbladder challenges. Liver or gallbladder is representative of resentment. That's right. Resentment. Hypo, female. Yes, that's correct, Audrey. All right. So anyone have any kidney challenges? No. Awesome. Kidney challenges on the table? I know one of my friends, Miss Deborah, I spoke with last week. She was having major kidney challenges. She was like peeing blood for like 3 months. And we had one conversation, like literally one conversation for about 15, 20 minutes. In one conversation, using conscious language, using body language, we were able to identify, resolve, rename, reshape, and transmute unforgiveness towards mom and dad into loving partnership in her life. And here is what happened. What's up, Chris? Here is what happened. Okay, kidneys are about unforgiveness, partnership returning. Okay, in one session, one chat, we were able to take the amount of blood that was in her urine. She literally sent me a picture, which is interestingly enough. She sent me a picture of about 4 days, 5 days worth of urine in cups. Sounds exciting, right? And the one that she took the next morning after our conversation was literally about 70 to 80% less blood in her urine once we went through and touched, addressed, loved, forgave, and gave ourselves permission to recommit to partnership with her mom and her dad. Now, can you see how big of a value this can create in our life, in your life, in our world? Imagine understanding how to do this specifically for yourself, and in turn being able to share with people in your life to empower them with the truth to set them free. Do you think that would make a big impact on our planet? Yes or no? Interesting, Chris. We could talk about that. So just so you understand, kidney, right kidney is about masculine or male unforgiveness. Left kidney is about female unforgiveness. Okay, remember, it's always about partnership returning. Yeah, the tools are super amazing. Like I was talking to Bob this morning, my coach, and I was doing some of his nutrition stuff and having a conversation with him, and it's definitely by far, hands down, the most impactful information I have ever experienced and ever in my life been introduced to. And I am super blessed that I found this, and super blessed to be able to share it with you. And I am super blessed to be able to geek out on it as much as I do, and to be able to have Bob directly coach and work with me to directly share his wisdom with me. I said, Bob, your whole job on planet Earth before you take off in your spaceship is to download every bit of the skill sets and wisdom you have in your brain into mine today, so I can share it with you. And it's funny, he just sends a message on Facebook and it pops up on my page. He's funny. He's an amazing guy. All right, so here we go. So let's talk about pancreas, and let's talk about adrenals. Does anyone have any pancreas challenges or adrenal issues or adrenal fatigue or something that some people would call diabetes, blood sugar challenges? Interesting. We could talk on that, Chris, for sure. So anyone have any pancreas or adrenal challenges currently? Pancreas or adrenals both represent grief. They represent our joy returning. One of my big ahas I had with Bob when I was in body language class 2 weeks ago is I had a massive upgrade around my brother dying. Y'all probably remember this. My brother passed away about 2 years ago, and I had a massive set of anger and grief around that. And I thought I had dealt with it. But of course, Bob's a ninja, and he brought it out, and man, I just cried like a baby. So much so that I couldn't even talk through it at some point. He was like, take a deep breath, take a deep breath, take a deep breath, say it's okay, tell your brother it's okay, come on, take a deep breath. And I was like, man, that was intense. And then here's the thing. This morning I had a float session, so I go float in a float tank. It's probably about an 8 foot by 8 foot tank with about 2 foot of water in it, and it's got 900 pounds of Epsom salt in it. So literally when you get in it, your body floats. The whole purpose of this is it's a sensory deprivation chamber, which means when the lights are off, you can't see your hand in front of your face, your body is weightless, and it's completely dark, and it's completely soundless. You can listen to music if you choose to, and often I do have stuff that I go in there and download information in. But what I did this time is I was in there for 2 hours. It took me an hour to kind of get calmed down and rested in there. And then what I did is I turned my class on from my last experience with Bob, and I went through that information. And man, I had a huge emotional experience. Again, downloading all of that information in me and truly stepping into being, experiencing, feeling, and loving my joy enthusiastically. And I assure you that it was extremely profound, almost as profound as it was when I actually did it in class with him myself. So if you haven't floated and you're really looking to do so, I highly recommend it. Here's a couple of reasons why. Beneficially wise, it will dramatically lower your stress. Most of the energy that we use and most of the mind space that we use, to the tune of about 80% of it, is because our body is constantly maneuvering around gravity and all of the sensory overload. Here's something crazy. Did you know that on any video, just about, it doesn't matter how impactful or how amazing it is or how viral it is, do you know actually how much of that video is statistically watched? I'll tell you, 7 seconds. That's it. 7 seconds of any of my most popular videos across the board is watched for only 7 seconds. That to me is mind-boggling. What that means is that our mind is constantly being bombarded with information, wisdom, junk, garbage, stimulus from different things, and that we cannot pay attention for that long at all. So doing something like a float allows you to download or to offload all of the useless stuff that's going on, and it allows you to connect with you. When your mind and your body doesn't have to work because it's completely floatless. There's no gravity on it. You're floating in water. Your body doesn't know that. It just shuts off because there's nothing going on. So you have all this extra mind space now to where your mind will scan your body and it will start to heal and work on things. You'll start to relive experiences offloading that stuff. I had a nasty trap and neck just bothering me for the last 2 weeks from getting back into jiu-jitsu and doing triangle chokes for a week. And I was gimped out. One float session, gone. And I was like, man, this stuff is intense, but one float session was gone. So if you have a float center, if you're looking for one, go check out Liquid Floats in Austin. Go see Bruce. If you would like a contact, let me know and I'll connect you. Super amazing experience. You totally owe it to yourself. Make sure you check out Shay over at Cryotherapy. That's another amazing experience. It's two of my top modalities that keep me functioning optimal and help me to stay primed, because I'm looking to be the best version of myself consistently, daily, so that I can share and support you to my fullest, because if I'm not taking care of me, I'm not going to be able to help you to support you to take care of you. So make sure you're doing these things. Make sure you're integrating all the stuff we're talking about. So pancreas and adrenals. Like I had grief. That was pancreas and adrenals. I would notice I started getting kind of tired. I noticed that I would have sugar cravings, because sugar cravings equals lack of sweetness in life. So what I was looking for physically was an artificial Band-Aid in the form of sugar to take place or to create a artificial sense of joy in my life for what was missing emotionally because of the grief that I had experienced from my brother passing. Now I ask you, is there anything going on in your life that you have not processed that you can see that may be equating to some of the decisions that you're currently making in life? About grief, not understanding how to move forward. Maybe it's about partnership. Maybe it's about apathy. Maybe it's about unforgiveness. If you do have something like that, just say yes. That's the first thing, is we get to identify what it is so that we can actually do some work on it. Because if you choose to avoid it, guess what? It's like taking a pile of elephant doo-doo and shoveling under a rug and putting the rug over top of it and squishing it down. Guess what? A day or two later, maybe sooner, it's going to start smelling in your house. Just because you put a rug over it and squish it down, that doesn't mean it's gone. It's suppressed. It's going to show up in the form of smells throughout your house, which also equal stinky experiences that show up in your life because of this one lens that your eye is looking through, because that's what you're basically creating based off the experience that is still filtering in your subconscious mind, meaning subconscious, underneath our awareness. If you think about subconscious and conscious mind, the best analogy that I could give you, if that's an analogy, example would be an iceberg. An iceberg, like an iceberg, let's just say this is the top of the iceberg. This is about how much sticks out of water. Then you have all this over here down underneath. That is the rest of the iceberg. That represents our subconscious mind. That is where all the power is. Okay? So then we start talking about spleen. Spleen is directly related to I can't, this is too hard. Now, how many in your life have experienced I can't, it's too hard? I know about me, for sure. I've had that. That's why the old I choose to make this fun and easy is so helpful. That's what allows you to shift that. Next one is lungs. Lungs are about survival or about thrival returning. So wheezing, lung issues, people who are not taking deep breaths, people who are having a challenge going to sleep or staying asleep between the hours of 3 and 5 a.m., that is lung meridian. That means I am functioning in survival. How am I going to live? What am I going to do? How am I going to take care of myself? Those are all survival thoughts. Okay? None of it's wrong. It just identifies what our current reality is so we can make some new shifts. And naturally, that's what we're looking for, right? Of course. Even without thinking, that's what's going on, right? So heart challenges is about heart broken, literally, just like love challenges. Does anyone have any heartbroken challenges in here? Like if you've heard my story, you'll know when I was suicidal in my early 20s that I had an experience that went south with a former partner and it threw me for a loop. I did not know how to handle the emotions that I was experiencing. I had never experienced that. And I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. At some point started using drugs in the mixture with that, and man, it was just a not so bueno experience, and I'm grateful to be here with it for sure because it taught me a lot. And heartbroken is when you start having heart challenges, heartaches, strokes, cholesterol challenges, blood pressure issues, heart attacks. All of those can pretty much be traced back to some type of experience that equaled emotional pain, heartache. Okay? So here you go. Yep, for sure. What's up, Mary? So where cancer shows up at is directly indicative of what emotion is functioning and most importantly, what is returning emotionally. I'm not sure, Cynthia. We'll have to dig into that. So I'm going to repeat that. Where cancer shows up at is directly indicative of what emotion is functioning and most importantly, what is returning emotionally. Okay? So we're going to talk about one more thing. We're going to talk about part 2 for a second, and then we're going to call it quits for tonight. So the second thing we're going to talk about briefly for a moment, and then we're going to dig into it more on Wednesday, is called pH, which is the alkalinity or the acidity of food. If you have heard of that term, pH or alkalinity and acidity, just type a yes so I know where you're at. I'm late. It's all right. It's better late than never. You can go back and watch the replay. So pH and alkalinity. Alkalinity means presence of oxygen. Acidity means no oxygen. Alkalinity, slightly 7.0 to 7.2 to 7.3, 7.4 is where our body functions best at. A disease cannot live in an alkaline body, meaning where there is oxygen present, where there is oxygen present, a disease cannot live. Acid, acidosis, acidity is where a body cannot live and thrive. That's where diseases exist and sicknesses exist. All right? That's a short spot. So we're going to wrap it up for right now, and here's the deal. I have an opportunity for you. Since it's Halloween, I have something special for you. For those of you that have not taken advantage of our Nutrition Empowerment Series, and you are serious and committed to your results and understanding how to use the grocery store to empower you, I have an opportunity for you today. For Halloween, I have an extra bonus in there for you. So here's what you get. With our Nutrition Empowerment Series, you get $400 off today for only $97. Here's the bonuses that you get. Number 1, you're going to get Chris's Grocery Store Series for free, which is a $97 training. You're also going to get my Grocery Store Secrets training for free, which is another $97 training. You're going to get added to our closed Facebook group so you can connect with Audrey. I think Mary may even be in there. There's quite a few people. Cynthia's also in there. Most of the people that are on here are in our closed Facebook group. That's our family. That's where you can interact. That's where you can ask questions. That's where you have access to Chris and I. And then your fourth bonus is you and I, mano y mano, get to have a conversation to figure out exactly what you require to be successful. And I'm going to help you put some stuff to that. We're going to discuss your unique situation to get you thriving. And let's be honest, all we really want to do is thrive, right? That's correct. So if you are more serious than curious about getting your results, take action now while you have 4 bonuses. And make sure when you do that you message me. I will have my assistant Jocelyn connect you with your bonuses, and I will have my assistant Jocelyn add you to our group and connect you and I for our phone call to address your stuff and to get you squared away. Now let's talk about something for a second. Because it's very important, because when it comes down to people investing in themselves, a lot of time people have a challenge with it. And here's what you get to really consider. If I ask you the question right now, are you thriving in your life? Are you thriving in your health? Are you thriving in your finances, in your emotional relationships, in your spiritual connection with God? If I ask you that, what can you honestly say? Can you say yes? Can you say no? Can you like, man, I'm not? If it's not an emphatic yes, there's more work that you get to do. And my question to you is this: what is it costing you to stay the same? If you had to put a dollar amount on not changing, hating the way you feel when you get up in the morning and get out of the shower and going, without even maybe consciously expressing it, but you feel that heaviness of grief and shame and unhappiness with the way you feel and look naked, I assure you, solving that is by far worth more than $97. Having the skill sets necessary to empower your health to stay out of the doctor is by far worth more than $97. It's going to cost you that in a copay for your medication or for your insurance. And to be completely transparent with you, I have not had insurance in probably over 10 years. I don't go to the doctor because I don't get sick. I go to the doctor to get healthier. And Audrey, what have you thought about our nutrition program? There's a few people on here who have actually taken it. And really my encouragement to you is this: give yourself permission to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Because if you're truly looking to thrive, the only way that's going to happen is for you to have the wisdom necessary to do it. And it's only going to happen by making a decision to move forward in your life and to get the wisdom necessary to do that. So naturally, if you're more serious and curious, take advantage of the offer that we're giving you tonight, because you have 4 bonuses versus 3. So you have a significant amount of extra content that is in there for you for up for grabs. After you enlist and after you register, message me so I can get you your bonuses and so that I can get my assistant to set us up with a time to chat so we can get you support and get you on the up and up. And literally, by New Year's, you can be a whole new human being. Because once you find the right combination, things happen fast. You can see miracles consistently, but guess what? You get to be willing to put yourself in the position and create the opportunities necessary for that to be a possibility. So that's all I have. My invitation for you is to just trust me. Follow my advice. Allow us to support you. Invest in yourself and make a decision now that you are worth it. Because if you think about it and you don't act on it, it's not just costing you $97. It's costing you all of the solutions that you're not going to have, all the health challenges that you could be coming up against, all of the pain that's not going to get resolved, and the body that you're not going to be able to obtain because you don't have the information necessary to do so. And we are offering it to you now for an amazing deal. Have an amazing night. That's all I got. I love you. Go get some candy because it's calorie free for the next 2 hours. Just don't tell everybody else that. I love you. Have an amazing night. Remember, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will make time for your illness. Bye-bye.